Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Jocelyn Lovely. So good to see you guys here today. Today's reading is for my beautiful Aquarius. So if you guys are excited, so am I. First of all, let me say I was getting a lot of downloads, particularly in the realm of self-discovery. A lot of my Aquariuses, if you're not an Aquarius and you get this video, it's timeless. So whenever you do receive the message, embrace it. If you love it, like, share, and subscribe. Specifically for you guys, I'm getting downloads of self-discovery. You're finding things out about yourself that you probably forgot that you enjoyed doing. I'm talking about like reclaiming inner child here. You're spending a lot of time with yourself, and you're starting to find out that you like things that maybe you haven't remembered liking in such a while. You're doing very positive things. So for example, if you see yourself going out and then buying something that is very childlike, it's just you. And then if you're having these thoughts of like, well, that doesn't make sense, it's not something I would typically buy, but you're being drawn to it, it's just you discovering these parts of self that you just haven't embraced in a long time. So congratulations to you guys. I appreciate that, and I think that you guys allowing those parts of yourself to show on a daily basis is actually very encouraging. Not only for yourself, which is very important, but it just seems like you're listening to yourself. And so if that's hard to do with this busy world, busy environment, it's really difficult to do that, but you're allowing yourself the time to get to know yourself. So embrace it, embrace it. All right. Also for you guys, we started off with the Ace of Swords. I'm getting really good energy with this, with the Four of Wands, and I'll tell you why. Very strong structure. It's almost as if like you have the energy with the wand, right? And I'm getting a lot of red. So it's starting all the way from the bottom, right? It's like this energy that's coming up into your body, and it goes all the way up to your throat, right? Because you started activating that root chakra, which is like the root and the sacral, which is really about you being grounded and knowing yourself, to going up to the sacral, which is you enjoying yourself. This, I want to say positively sexual energy. I don't want to say that it's about sex, but it's like the creativity. The creative side of you is coming out. It's parts of you that, again, you are rediscovering, have forgotten all about. And so it's new. It's new for you, and you're playing with it, and you're dabbling with it, and you're discovering it, and you're okay with it. You're embracing it, not caring what anybody else thinks about it, which is great. What I'm also getting is with the sword, it's like this truth is coming out. You're tapping into emotions that you've maybe repressed for a long time, and you're being kind enough to let yourself feel it. So if you're crying this week, or feel lonely, or feel sad, you're not running back to your usual things to help you alleviate the pain. And if you are, you're really monitoring it. So you're being very aware of where your energy is going and where you want to kind of bring it back, right? So I'm getting a lot of people really expressing themselves. I'm getting people that maybe you were passive at one point. You were sitting there and just, let's say for example, if somebody said something or did something that you didn't like, maybe before you would just dismiss it and just draw out and disassociate, or would, look for alternative ways to lash out from that situation because you didn't approach the situation or you didn't pay mind to the situation. I'm getting a lot of you guys now, when somebody does something you don't like, you're acknowledging it, you're crying about it, and you're letting yourself feel these emotions, but now you're actually saying something. You're going out there and you're speaking your truths, and you're letting people know, hey, I don't like when you do this. And instead of doing it in a mean, lashing out, repressed way, a very passive aggressive way, you're actually speaking up and being assertive, right? We spoke about this in a couple of readings ago. Being assertive. You're expressing yourself, but not in a way where it's disrespectful. You're actually being really honest. I'm getting a lot of you guys really sharing your emotions. For example, I'm getting people who, if somebody made plans with you and then they canceled, and they did it again and again and again, or if you said something and you were not being heard, but you've done it again and again and again, it's happened again, you're getting to the point where you're speaking up and saying, you know what, I don't appreciate when you do this because this hurts. I don't feel appreciated. I feel hurt. I feel dismissed, right? And you're saying it in such a way that's so respectful of you as a person, and you're not disrespecting anybody else. You're just speaking facts. And I think that that's helping you because you're realizing that people's responses aren't really as bad as you thought or assumed would be. I'm talking to people who are getting out of programming where maybe when you were younger and you tried to say something, you were dismissed or you were lashed out at, you were yelled at. And so for you, speaking up for yourself, it might have been a huge hurdle. It might have been too much. You didn't think you were going to be heard, or you thought you were going to go back. It's almost as if when you didn't say anything, it was your way to protect yourself by dismissing the emotion and then finding ways to cope with it, whether that's addictions, food, whatever, right? And now that you're speaking up, you're realizing that people are responding to you in ways that maybe your parents never did, or your friends, or whatever, when you were a child. So it's like you're breaking out of these cycles or bonds or ways of being that no longer work. And now that you're speaking out for yourself, it's like your inner child's heard and you feel grateful. It's almost as if because you're acknowledging your emotions, you're able to express that outwards. So congratulations. Yay. All right, the next two cards. First of all, I have to say that's a big deal, okay? I'm talking to people who this isn't easy for them to do. This is not an easy thing to do for a lot of people, which is easier to just be passive aggressive. It's easier to just go out there and say, okay, and then shut down and then, withdraw. Or it's easier to lash out because you think they're not going to understand you, but people are receiving your messages. And if they're not, I notice some of you guys don't put up with that anymore. The self-respect that you have for yourself now versus who you were 5 years ago, it's huge. It's different. You don't put up with the same BS. So congratulations. This is what you get when you do the work. The self-healing work. This is one of the rewards you get, right? Because you're saying no to all the pleasure, short-term temptations, things that you were okay with at one point, you're not okay with it anymore. So now you're redrawing yourself or realigning yourself to experiences or people that will better hear you because you hear yourself. All right, then we get this character here, and then this is you. So it almost seems like this is you with the assertiveness, saying no, enough is enough. I have enough discipline and respect for myself to stand up for myself. And I don't care if I win. It's not about winning a battle. It's not about proving you're the best. It has nothing to do with ego. This is what I'm saying. This is all about respect. You're coming at people with respect, but you demand it as well. This is a very powerful place to be. Look at this person. He's not playing around. This character knows who he is, and he's using voice. He's using clarity. Even though everything around him may seem like chaos, he does not care. He is a foundation. He is a whole. Look at the structure and the pose this person's displaying. This is you. Maybe when you were little, you were told that being this person was not going to get you anywhere. Being a people pleaser was better for you and for the whole structure in society. But you don't care. You don't play by those rules anymore. Followed by the Lovers. Look at this. It's like you protecting your inner parts of self at all costs. You're filled with nothing but love. You're filled with nothing but grace and respect. And it's almost as if you're willing to do whatever it takes to have peace, inner peace at all costs, which is why you, again, very protective energy. Very protective energy for yourself and for everything you have. This is what I'm mostly getting. This could also be too, if this is a person or people, places, and things around you that you notice you don't vibrate towards. This could be the opposition. You may be feeling your whole life like the opposition is here, right? People are telling you you can't. You can't express yourself inwards, outwards. You cannot do that because there's going to be opposing forces. But guess what? You're no longer afraid. You don't care what people think about you anymore. You don't care. If you set this whole thing on fire, you don't care. A lot of you guys, I notice at work, you overdo, you overgive, and you set standards and boundaries. And I feel like if people cross you, you're speaking up. And if you feel like people aren't listening, you're looking for another job. It's that plain and simple. Good for you. If they don't respect you wherever you go, you need to leave. So good for you guys. And if you're looking for the mustering up the courage, this is the week it's gonna happen. This week specifically, you're getting opposition coming in just to see. I feel like there's always that opposition that comes in to test those boundaries, and you're over here like, nope, 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 nope. I'm not falling for that trap anymore. A lot of one energy, see? It's like you may feel like this is coming up conflict, right? You may feel like this is what may be scary to you, right? Maybe some of you guys don't like that conflict energy. I'm getting very Libra balanced. You prefer to have balance in your life, right? But this conflict is coming up for your own benefit. This needs to happen. I feel like the universe is trying to tell you that you need to start speaking up for yourself and learning to do that, because that's a really good skill to have for the next phase of your life, right? So this is why a lot of conflict may be coming up, and it may be little things that keep getting to you. But if you notice, if it's the same conflict but different people, it's something that needs to be expressed for you. So if you're having those not arguments, but like those situations where you need to stand up for yourself and you're no longer, you're putting your foot down, this is why it has to happen. That's why you're receiving a lot of wand energy right now, to kind of help you move forward. This is what the one energy is for, right? With all that red coming in, it's the assertiveness, it's the confidence, it's the leadership skills that need to be enhanced for you to move forward. And it's important for you to learn this now, because later on in life you're going to have really good relationships come in, but you need to have this. You need to know how to say no, right? In order for you to have a balanced relationship with others, right? It's clarity, but it's also being assertive. I feel like a lot of you guys too, because the conflict has been coming up and arising. It could be inner conflict too, but I'm getting mostly people. You're getting into like little conflicts with people left and right, and it's starting to annoy you. But it has to happen. There's a reason why. It's like you could try to leave that. If there was a conflict with someone else and you decided not to engage and you walked away, conflict is it's rising in other places because this needs to happen. It's for you. The lesson's for you. All right, then you get the 5 of Cups, right? It's like you may be feeling like these conflicts are bringing emotions up that are making you cry, but it's important. You need to heal this. This needs to be healed. This is what you're healing, this wound inside of maybe not being cared for when you were a child, not being heard, not being understood. A lot of you guys, I'm getting that you're misunderstood. And you feel like that, which is why I think a lot of you guys prefer to be on your own. Because I feel like, how can I explain it? A lot of people would prefer to be on their own because they feel like most people won't understand them, right? And again, this has to do with your childhood. Getting out of the 7 of Swords energy, right? It's in reverse. Maybe you thought this whole time people were betraying you, or you kept asking yourself, why am I attracting people that are the same, reminding me of my parents? They're not commitment, they're not into commitment, they're not, they expect me to say yes, or when I say no they get mad at me. It's this conflict you're getting out of. And it's almost as if you were attracting this dishonesty because you were not being honest with what your needs were. And now you're getting out of this energy and realizing it's you. The reason you were attracting these people was because this lesson was for you specifically to learn to stand up for yourself. And now that you're doing it, I mean, like I said, this is a big deal. There's a lot of people who struggle with this. So congratulations. Let's see, anything else you want me to discuss with my Aquarians here, or anybody who's drawn to this video? Again, I just make these readings for a specific sign just because I know people love that. But if you're drawn to this video, it's for you. Okay, so I get the Knight of Pentacles with the 2 of Swords. If you guys can see that. It's almost as if like you're receiving this every time there's conflict with somebody. Now it's like you're looking at it different. This is a new opportunity to receive that you're being given by source. So you may have looked at like conflict as, oh my God, why is this happening again? Why? I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of it. I can't deal with people in general anymore. No, these are just opportunities that are being given to you by source so that you can value yourself, right? This is a pinnacle of value. Valuing your needs above everybody else's, no matter what the outcome is. No matter if you get banned from someplace, no matter if your family disowns you, no matter if you get fired, it doesn't matter. Source will always find a way to help you. Okay, there have been places and times, many times in my life where I had to quit a job because I was being bullied. And when I said no and I stood up for myself finally, it was a big issue. All of a sudden things were being done that I didn't appreciate, and it was done on purpose, and that's when I had to quit. Right? So if you have to do it, you have to do it. Just, you guys are smart. Know when you have to leave, know when you have to look for a job. You already know what you have to do here, right? But it's the reaction. Maybe some of you guys are terrified of the reaction, but again, this is all in your favor. I want you guys to start looking at it that way. It's going to help you a lot. Ruffling feathers is not looked as a good thing. It's very frowned upon, but you guys are light workers. You guys are it. You guys are the real deal. You guys are the anti, right? The black sheep, you want to call it. Okay, call yourselves black sheep, but take pride in it. Take pride that you don't care what anybody else labels you, as long as you know what you're labeling yourself, and that's called respect. I may not be loved. I don't need to be feared, but I will be respect. I will have respect, sorry. Then you get the Two of Swords, right? You can get out of this. If you're feeling trapped, it's because you're not speaking up. Right? You're standing still like, what do I do? This is your confirmation that you can do this. You can do this. There's so many people who just don't want to ruffle feathers because you know you're going to lose something that you really love. Right? Sometimes conformity, it's a good thing. Being in a group is a great thing. Being in a job is a great thing. It's a loving thing. It's an amazing thing. Maybe there's things that you get out of it that you still love and enjoy, but at what cost? Is the cost really worth it? If it's your self-respect, if it's the people pleasing, do you have to sacrifice? Do you really have to sacrifice in order for you to stay where you're at? You have to ask yourself these questions. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to hide parts of myself that no one sees so that I don't ruffle feathers? Do I want to live like that, or do I want to be the most authentic version of myself that I can be, right? Because the Two of Swords, you're bounded, right? You don't want to see, or you're stuck or whatever. I'm guessing that those are fireworks, guys. Sorry. In the winter. Fireworks in the winter. All right, so with this Two of Swords, right? You can literally get yourself out of this. It's time to maybe. Maybe that's what it is. It's time to get out, but you're so comfortable in there. You're so comfortable in the old way of being. Why change, right? Maybe, again, like I said, you are for love, right? For love, sometimes we do things like this. We sacrifice ourselves, but it's like, I'm getting you guys being so uncomfortable because you've been holding back or hiding parts of yourself, not living as authentically as you can, right? As you can, because you're already authentic, but as you can. This requires sacrifice, maybe needing to walk away. You guys already know, you guys know your situations, and I have full trust. The divine has full trust in you, and they know that eventually, once you can stay where you're at now, but you're gonna get to the point where you're so uncomfortable, and we already know when you get to that point, you either lash out or you shut down or something bad happens. So we're looking at this as you actually seeing your worth. You know what your worth is. Source is highlighting you are the opportunity. You are the gift. And if you don't belong in a certain place, or if you're not being valued where you're at, you need to find places that value you for exactly who you are, who will allow you to shine that light as bright as can be and not have people try to tame you, because they're jealous or they're insecure or they want to shut you down. You don't belong there. You belong in a group where people are going to look up to you and say, man, you bring so much to the table. Where have you been? We needed people like you. We need people like you. I want you guys to start seeing it that way, because this is what you really are. You're worth so much. And if people aren't telling you that, you're in the wrong group. You're with the wrong people. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. Sending love and lights. Bye-bye.